Hi, my name is Talal Ahmed, and I'm a CMMC registered practitioner. I will be presenting today. Our presentation will cover CMMC, difference between NIST 800-171 and CMMC, and the CMMC services offered by us to our clients. So what is CMMC? CMMC is a new cybersecurity framework that is designed to protect federal contract information, FCI, and controlled unclassified information, CUI. Any contractor, prime or sub, who has access to FCI or CUI data will be required to comply with CMMC requirements. In the upcoming slide, we will discuss the time frame each contractor might have before they're required to comply with CMMC. However, it is essential and extremely beneficial for any organization supporting or planning on supporting the Department of Defense to start reviewing and implementing CMMC requirements. This slide deck might seem a bit confusing and raise more questions than answer. That is why we are here, to help assist you figuring out which CMMC level is applicable and appropriate for the organization. Department of Defense anticipates majority of the prime contractors that are mid-sized businesses will need to comply with CMMC Maturity Level 3. These businesses will probably have access to or might even store and/or process CUI data. Level 4 and Level 5 are pending further guidance from the Department of Defense and CMMC AB, and those requirements for those are still being worked on. CMMC Level 3 requires your organization to comply with 130 different controls. These controls are derived from NIST publication, specifically 800-53. So what makes CMMC so unique? Well, first of all, CMMC requires the organization to have an independent third-party assessor assess to validate the requirements for CMMC have been implemented, the supporting staff are trained, and everyone understands their responsibility when it comes to protecting CUI. We also have 20 additional controls compared to 800-171. CMMC requirements are also a little stingier than 800-171. One requirement that sets CMMC apart from any other security framework is the fact you either pass or fail. There is no middle ground. For example, if your organization needed to comply with NIST 800-171 controls and you did your due diligence and identified that out of 110 controls you were satisfying 100 and 10 you failed on, you would then come up with a plan on how to satisfy the remaining 10 controls and document it in a plan of actions and milestones, also known as POAMs. Depending on the severity and risk level, you could have anywhere from 30 days to a whole year to remediate that weakness and still continue to support the Department of Defense. Well, with CMMC, at the time of the assessment by an authorized third-party assessor, you must pass all controls. There are no POAMs. The implication of failing a CMMC assessment can be significant. An organization could lose a bid or not even allowed to bid on a contract that could have been an easy win for the organization. This slide breaks down the awards that will be granted by the Department of Defense requiring CMMC certification. As you can see, by FY 2025, DoD is anticipating almost all contractors to be CMMC certified. Some organizations might feel they can sit back and relax because they might have 2 to 3 years before CMMC is required for the award or contract they might go after. However, another thing that sets CMMC apart is showcasing and highlighting maturity. Well, what does that mean? Let's say an organization conducts a self-assessment or even hires an external entity to perform this assessment, and through that assessment, they identify weaknesses. Those weaknesses then turn into POAMs, and finally, that weakness is resolved. When the time comes for the independent third-party assessment, the assessment for the organization can show the maturity by highlighting the fact they understand the requirements and have been working diligently in reviewing and satisfying the CMMC requirements through the POAM process. Another way of showing maturity is by collecting evidence of satisfying CMMC requirements on an ongoing basis. What does that mean? Currently, CMMC AB has granted the auditors authority to determine if an organization showcases and provides adequate evidence that the CMMC required controls were not just implemented recently, but the organization actually has a mature process in place where they're consistently reviewing and validating CMMC requirements are implemented as designed. For example, if we take a process of reviewing and approving access to the system, account management, can the organization provide us with documentation that highlights the process, and can they provide us with evidence that showcases the process has been followed for months and not something that was just implemented last week? That is why it is essential for any organization trying to do business with DoD to start working on CMMC as soon as possible. Let's say if the organization is targeting for an award that might be awarded in FY 2023, and the organization waits until 2023 to implement and gather evidence showcasing their compliance with CMMC requirements, there's a chance an auditor might feel that the organization hasn't properly implemented CMMC, or the CMMC requirements were just implemented recently. We are an industry leader in the utility operations field. We have always been a trusted partner of our clients and have over 2 decades of cybersecurity and risk management experience. We're also an approved registered provider organization, RPO, meaning we have been approved by the CMMC AB to assist our clients in getting ready for an actual CMMC assessment. Can we conduct an independent third-party assessment ourselves? No, but we do have a CMMC AB authorized and trained assessor on board. We know what the assessment team will be looking for when it comes to identifying the artifacts that need to be compiled, the documentations that needs to be developed. We have an insight into that world. We have come up with a 6-step process to help our clients get ready for an actual CMMC assessment. The process includes working with the staff members and understanding the services provided by the organization. We understand each business is unique and the services they provide have their own set of challenges that need to be overcome. We will conduct a mock assessment to help identify gaps and blind spots before an actual assessment is conducted by an approved CMMC third-party assessor. We will provide recommendation in remediating the gaps identified through the mock assessment. We will assist in developing a proper scope for the CMMC assessment, concentrate on how FCI and CUI data is handled within the organization. We will provide guidance and be available throughout the process of getting ready for an actual assessment. Our goal is to help the organization achieve the desired level of certification so they can continue their work in supporting the Department of Defense while protecting CUI data and strengthening the nation's supply chain network. With that, I will turn it over to Cheryl Pittman.
Thank you, Talal. I'm Cheryl Pittman, the Project Manager and Client Development Consultant within Management Consulting. Here are some of the ways you can reach out to us and learn more about CMMC. If you have questions or you need to just know more about CMMC certification, email us at cmmc@bv.com. Also, take a look at our cybersecurity collateral on bv.com. Any organization seeking CMMC certification can find us listed as an approved RPO in the marketplace on CMMC AB's website. We are really looking forward to this being the perfect example of how utilizing our transformation initiative with working together to create a more cohesive, successful working relationship with our services to organizations across the company. Thank you.